Beautiful women prefer conservatives.
Mr. Reagan.
So the last two girlfriends I had, my ex is a model from Finland. My current girlfriend, Valeria, is from Russia. Lovely, charming. Uh-oh. How are you gonna get away? They both told me the same thing. Well, I'll tell you exactly what my current girlfriend said. She said, I didn't think I would ever date an American guy because American guys are p***s. That was her... that was her words, not mine. And it occurred to me, well, you just haven't met a Republican. So why is it? Why is it that women tend to prefer Republicans, or at least beautiful women? Women naturally find masculinity attractive. I mean, that's just common sense, right? But leftist men embrace femininity, right? There was this big push in the 90s, like, are you in touch with your feminine side, right? Now when I look at, like, guys who are teenagers up into, like, their 30s, I think, wow, you really embraced your feminine side. Like, a lot of guys on YouTube, there's just the way they speak, the way they move, the way they carry themselves.
What toilet do you use?
There is a sense that if they were out with a girl and some guy tried to rape the girl, that they wouldn't kill the guy, they would run away. Right? This is a very sort of baseline, masculine trait. The war on masculinity has been so ferocious that men have actually given in to the idea of rejecting their own masculinity. Not only should they embrace their masculinity, they need to develop it, right? Go play sports, go do martial arts, take boxing lessons, at least get in a couple of fights as a kid. Everybody should be in one fight in their life. Even if you don't have the capacity to beat up every other guy, which, none of us do. There's always going to be a stronger, tougher guy out there. You got to at least be willing to stand up and fight. And that's something that we don't teach kids anymore, I don't think. I think conservatives, the right wing in America, has a monopoly on masculinity now. And because of that, we have a monopoly on beautiful women. There are other things that make men attractive, in like money, obviously. So let's say you're a guy who's not that attractive to women. You find it difficult to speak to women. You find it difficult to get really beautiful women, the girls that you want. How do you go about changing your circumstances so that you can get these girls? Here are my ways of attracting and keeping stunningly beautiful women. So we've already gone over the first thing, be formidable. Now, being formidable doesn't just mean being willing to fight for your girl. Being physically formidable is obviously part of that. But the other things also apply. Being successful, having a bit of money. But be well-spoken. Be somebody who, in a debate, in a conversation, is going to be confident, is going to know their stuff. Educate yourself. Obviously, if you're watching this channel, you're probably a more formidable person than somebody on the left in terms of politics. You become more formidable with age, certainly, but also simply confidence. You've got to be a confident person. Now, how do you become a confident person? Easy. Accept your flaws. Embrace your flaws. Here's why. Why do people respect stand-up comedians? One, they've got a great skill, okay? They're great at stand-up comedy. We can see they have value. But secondly, a lot of comics are self-deprecating. They'll make fun of themselves. They'll point out all their flaws before you can, and their jokes about themselves are funnier than anything you're going to think up, right? There's something about being self-aware that people really respect. And I think that comes from the idea that if you're self-aware, then you have the capacity to improve those things in which you fall short and to exploit the things in which you thrive, right? So if you're good at stuff, you're going to be able to see what those things are and you're going to use them to benefit your life and to be a more formidable person. And if you can recognize the things you're bad at, you can manage those things, right? So you can either disregard them if you don't think they're important, or you can improve them if you think they are important. So being self-aware is incredibly important. Embrace your flaws. Don't deny them. Denying your flaws is the worst thing that you can do. If somebody says you're bad at something and you actually can see that you're bad at it, but you refuse to admit that, you say, no, I'm not bad at that, then you look petty. Then you don't look self-aware. If somebody says you're bad at something and you say, yeah, I'm terrible at that, then it shows that you have confidence. It shows that you Have enough confidence in the other things in your life in which you actually have value that you really don't care that much that, yeah, there are some things that you're bad at. So embrace your flaws, embrace your failures, embrace your shortcomings. All right, the second thing I have on my list is meet women. All right, everybody's stuck on these apps now, right? Tinder and stuff. The best women are not going to be on apps because they're just going to get inundated with messages from horrible guys that they don't want to meet anyway. The girls that you really, really want to date, they're going to get enough attention from guys in real life. They don't need to go on those apps. So forget the apps, all right? That's not going to help you. But if you want a real girl, if you want a fantastic woman, go meet girls in real life. How do you do that? Take classes, go to events, find things in real life in which people gather and congregate. Then just look for the most beautiful women in the room and go up to them. If they're married, you're in trouble. But if they have a boyfriend, that's good. Why is it good if a girl has got a boyfriend? That sounds crazy, right? All the best girls are taken. All right, let's be honest. All the best girls are taken. If you're a stunningly beautiful girl with a great personality and you're highly intelligent, you have all the values that people want in a person, somebody's going to be dating you. Unless the girl has such high standards that she will not date anyone except for the absolute best perfect match for her, she's probably going to be dating somebody, right? And the person she's dating is probably not the person she wants to be with. So go after girls with boyfriends, right? Enough of this going after only single girls, to be like a noble guy or something like that. Forget that, all right? The single girls, they're the girls that nobody wants to be with. Or they're a spectacular girl in transition and she's going to be single for what, like a week? Like, what are your chances of getting to meet her in that week? I mean, it's incredibly slim. Much better chance meeting a girl who's unhappy in a relationship. Go after girls with boyfriends. Now, going after the most beautiful women in the world is incredibly intimidating for most guys. And there's not a quick fix for the intimidation one feels in going up and just speaking with a stunningly beautiful woman. Some guys can do it, some guys can't. I tend to find that nerds and douchebags have the easiest time because douchebags consider women to be disposable, and nerds recognize that women aren't going to probably like them anyway, so they can just kind of be themselves and be natural, and they don't have a shot, so what does it matter? And occasionally that nerd gets lucky because the girl doesn't care about looks, or she's in a period where she needs a guy like that and she just goes for it. So nerds, believe it or not, have better luck than the best guys in the world. Now, here's something that's really important to note. If you're an average guy, if you're sort of a normal guy with normal intelligence, normal looks, you dress well, sometimes you're kind of funny, you're the guy that every girl wants, all right? Most girls just want a normal guy. That's all they want, all right? They don't want a weirdo. They don't want some guy that's seeking attention all the time. They want a normal, masculine, average dude. So you're the guy. You're the guy that they want, all right? I tend to find that most guys who have some value, they're sort of an average guy who thinks, you know what? It's possible that girl will like me. If you think it's possible that a girl that you're very excited about will like you, that becomes much more intimidating than if you're a guy that you think, no girl wants me. Or if you think girls are disposable, you don't care what they think, all right, then you're not scared to go up to the girl. But if you're a guy with some value who thinks, that wonderful girl could love me, you've got a lot to lose, right? That's a dangerous proposition, getting rejected. So the fear of rejection is far greater in the normal guy than it is in a guy who embodies one of the extremes of being super douchey or super losery. But the irony is, you're the guy that they want. And you would not believe the number of insanely, I wouldn't just say beautiful, I would say desirable women. Because desirable encompasses a lot of things, not just looks, The most desirable women often complain to me that they very rarely get hit on. Or if they do get hit on, it's from guys they really don't want, like super old dudes, or like super awkward dudes, or like super douchey dudes. But a lot of times, the most desirable women very rarely get approached because people are just intimidated by them, So there's a couple of tricks to speaking to intimidatingly desirable women. Trick number 1, pretend that they're ugly. It's a very odd thing to say, but it's effective. It works. In the moment when you see a woman that's so desirable that it's very difficult for you to speak to them, if you just for one moment imagine speaking to a girl that's not desirable, that you have no interest in, and you think, how would I act around her? You're comfortable, you're funny, you're charming, you're all the things that that girl wants to talk to, but nobody ever talks to her this way, right? Nobody treats her like a normal human. They treat her like a celebrity or something. So if you are able to speak to that super desirable girl in the same way that you would talk to a girl you have no interest in whatsoever, she's going to fall in love with you within 2 minutes, right? Because that shows a level of confidence she very rarely sees. So the second strategy is a suggestion from my writing partner and my best friend, Kurt, out in Hawaii. His suggestion is find a flaw. He says whenever he approaches a woman that he is absolutely enamored by, and he finds it difficult to approach them because they're so perfect, he thinks, I'm not worthy of the affection of this woman. He'll look at their face, he'll look at their shoes, he'll look at whatever he can to find some little flaw. One girl, he said that he saw that she plucked her eyebrows or she shaved her eyebrows or something. And he said, right, she's human. She doesn't have perfect eyebrows. She has to reshape them. Okay, it's a silly little thing, right? But it humanizes the girl. It makes her no longer a celebrity, no longer a movie star. Now she's a real person that you can talk to. Both of these techniques have the same goal in mind, which is just to humanize the person so that you can speak to them comfortably. But you need to be able to speak naturally and comfortably to a girl that you want to attract. You have to be able to. Okay, my fourth suggestion to guys who are looking to attract super desirable women is aim higher than you think you can get. So a lot of guys want a girl that they look at the range of women in which they think they can get, and they want the sort of top end of that range, maybe just a little bit higher. Now, go one step higher than that. A girl who sees you as a little bit less desirable than she is will be kind of bothered by you, right? She'll feel like, okay, I usually date guys that are a little bit better than this. He thinks he's at my level. Like, come on, please. But if you go for a girl that's like a couple notches better than that, oftentimes those girls are somewhat impressed. Like, wow, this guy must have something going for him if he's going for me, because I get hit on by male models and stuff like that. And now this guy who's like, sort of just a typical guy is going after me. So he must have something special about him. And you probably do. I mean, the reality is you're probably the guy that she wants anyway. She just doesn't know it yet. So don't just go for girls that are at the top end of what you think you can get. Go one notch above that, maybe 2 notches above that. Aim high, man. Aim high. Number 5 on my list is, I believe, the most important tip that I have. And that is better yourself. Look, the reality is that we all want a girl who's a little bit better than we think we can get, right? But a girl who sees her own value and sees your value is going to recognize that there is a discrepancy there. She's going to see that. And we probably see that she probably sees it. And that reduces our confidence. So how do we fix this problem? Better yourself. If you see a girl that puts a great deal of care into her nails, she's well-spoken, she's well-educated, she obviously puts some effort into being a desirable human being, right? You too should put some effort into being a desirable human being, okay? Easiest thing you can do, dress better, right? Simple solution. Like, dress well. That doesn't necessarily mean, suit and tie every day. It could just mean like attractive climbing gear. However you like to look, just be presentable, right? Wear clean, nice clothes. You should put a little bit of effort into that. There's no reason not to. Women have eyes as well. Hitting the gym can be difficult. Just eating chicken and broccoli for a month can be difficult. But these things help, right? These things are valuable things. I mean, and they have benefits aside from getting girls. You want to be a fit dude. Being fit, being well-dressed are easy solutions. Relatively easy. But there are other tricks. Women love creative guys. Embrace your creativity. Pick up a hobby. Be an artist of some kind. If you have no creativity, become a photographer. Photographers are not real artists. Like, what do you need to be a good photographer? You need good equipment, you need to know how to take pictures, and that's it. I mean, that's really it. So there's a ton of YouTube videos on how to be a good photographer. I would recommend getting a camera in the Sony line because they have incredible dynamic range. You don't need to know what that means right now, just know it's good. And get a good lens. Just a good 35mm prime lens. Now, what you want in a good prime lens is a fast lens. That means a low f-stop, like 1.2 to 1.8. You can look all that stuff up so you know what it means, but You'll be able to take stunningly beautiful pictures. Women find that very attractive if you have a good Instagram. And if you can take pictures of them, they'll really love you. Another tip I have is travel, right? Women love men who have traveled overseas. Go to Europe, go to Asia, go to Africa, go to cool places and do cool stuff. And while you're at it, you can take your new camera, take awesome photos, and have a kick-ass Instagram. All right, number 6 is... Okay, so number 6 is not really a suggestion, but rather an observation. A truth about the world that you need to know in order to effectively choose the right targets to date. For a relationship to work, a woman's level of desirability, objective desirability, must match a man's level of confidence. Okay, oftentimes we think if the woman's desirable, the man to be with her must be desirable too. Like if she's like a supermodel, the guy should be like a male model. But you never see that in real life. I mean, rarely. Most of the time you see super hot girls with these like rich old guys. And you think, well, those girls are just going after his money. Maybe, but I've been in LA for a long time. I've seen a lot of weird couples. And I can tell you this. It's not just that the guy's rich. A lot of times it's because the guy has an insane amount of confidence. And then sometimes I'll see like really good looking cool guys, male models for instance, with like these sort of average looking girls. And it took me a long time to figure this out, but eventually I realized it's the level of the guy's confidence matches the girl's desirability, objective desirability. And this is kind of a hard one to accept because you have to take a really cold, hard look at yourself. You have to be very realistic. You have to say, what is my confidence level? And all the things I've talked about so far can help you to be confident. Talking to girls will help you to become confident. The more girls that you date, the more confident you're going to become about girls. The better dressed you are, the more interesting you are, the more desirable you are to women, that's going to make you more confident. The best 2 ways I think that can build your confidence is 1, always try to make yourself better, right? Always try to improve yourself because every day you look in the mirror and think, am I better than I was yesterday? Yes. But the absolute best way to build your confidence is to be a good person. If you're a good person, if you know that every day you're trying to do the right thing, you look yourself in the mirror and you say, I don't care what other people think of me. I'm a good person. I'm trying to do the right thing, right? So if you genuinely know you're trying to do the right thing all the time in every circumstance of your life, you will be an incredibly confident person. So, be good. So this last one, this last point that I'm going to make isn't a suggestion. It isn't a fact like the last thing. It is an observation about the world. It's something of a criticism. Most men only date women who actively pursue them. This is horrible, okay? Most guys, they don't even go out and try to talk to girls. They just meet girls, and whatever girl says, I want to date you, they're like, okay, and they go along with that. That's all. You are really, if you're one of these guys, and one of my good friends is like this, and he is admittedly like this, and I said to him, you are utterly restricting the range of girls that you have access to by just going for the ones who actively approach you or actively pursue you. This is backwards, okay, guys? You are utterly limiting your pool of possible girls that you're dating. Sometimes this is due to cowardice. Other times this is due to laziness. I think a lot of times it's due to indifference. Like a lot of guys, their top priority isn't getting a great girl, or they might think, you know what, I want to wait until I have more money, or or I have a better situation going, or I can focus on that before I start to get a wife and a family. Don't worry about that. Okay? Always actively look for and attempt to date the best girls that you can find. Any room that you walk into for the rest of your life, you got to look through that room and find the girl that you want to date and go talk to her. Make a habit of that. Always sit next to the most beautiful woman, all right? Always sit next to the girl that you want to date. Because if you're not in a speaking proximity, you can't speak to the girl. So whenever you walk into any room and you see a girl that you want to date, go over and stand next to her. Just go be near her. You're not going to talk to a girl if you're not near her. So I know this video wasn't super on topic in terms of politics, but it's a video I've wanted to make for some time. It's a video that a lot of girls have urged me to make, especially my ex-girlfriend Nina. She really wanted me to make a video like this. So hopefully it helps some of you guys out. If you don't have problems with girls, I'm sorry that you didn't have to watch it. But if you are a guy who feels like he's a great guy, he should be able to find some fantastic women. Hopefully some of these tips helped. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, whatever, don't hit the dislike button. I mean, yeah, I'll cry. I'm sensitive. If you want to see more videos like this, consider contributing to my Patreon. The link is in the description. I know most of you probably don't have the money to do that, but if you do, please contribute. I want to grow this channel. I want to make more videos. I want to make better quality videos. I do tend to get a bit frustrated because my time is limited. I can't make as many videos as I want and make them as high quality as I want and make all the different kinds of videos that I want to make. But do try to help me get there. You know, if you don't have any money, fine, just subscribe and let's try to build this channel. And if you hate me, I'm sorry. You don't have to take any of this advice. Just continue to date uggos. It's cool. Leave the hot girls for conservatives. And I just want to say I love my fans. Like, you guys are the best fans ever. The comment section is full of just like super smart, super cool people. And I always thought that if I had a successful YouTube channel, it would just be filled with like, you know, ignorant hate. But it isn't. It's filled with like really smart, interesting, cool people. Especially like the guys that comment a lot on my channel. You guys are really smart people, and a couple of girls, but I think I have like 97% guys following me or something like that. But you guys are all like super cool guys. But yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised having started this channel. So thank you for my followers. Thank you for my subscribers. You know, hopefully we'll blow this channel up. People are always surprised at how few subscribers I have, but hopefully soon that will change. And thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Must be a big push this time, Case.
The Admiral told me not to tell.
The Admiral should have told me not to worry.
I thought we'd settled all that about you and me.
It won't stay settled, Case. Not until you tell me you stopped caring.